Happy 88th birthday, Grandpa. It's a pleasure to anchor this interview with you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This will help us to know more about you and the family. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for welcoming me to this interview. It's my pleasure to be with you at this interview for my 80th birthday anniversary, coming up on the 5th of November 2022.
What's your name and what's your name?
My name is Olu Dele MORONKEJI. Olu stands for Oluwayomi. Dele stands for Oyedele. MORONKEJI is the surname.
Is there any meaning to your name?
Yes. Apart from the name I've given you, there should be a name that I should be called more than any of those. And the name is Abiona, because I was born on the road between Iragbiji and Ibokun in Osun State. During that time, my mother was pregnant and she was traveling to that town, Ibokun. It's a distance of 10 miles from Iragbiji. Along the road, I was given birth to. My grandmother had to carry me carry the little baby, that is myself, in that calabash to get to that town named Ibokun.
Do you know the origin of your family name?
My great-grandfather was from Ile-Ife to settle at Iragbiji. The family name is Moronkeji. The great-grandfather was known as Odegbekun, while his son is Orimogunje Alabi Moronkeji.
Give a brief description of your parents and grandparents.
My biological parents are Chief Amos Olanide and Janet Ojuolape Moronkeji. Both of them are of blessed memory. My father was a chief during his lifetime, and my mother, happily, was the first wife of my father, because my father has three other wives. To God be the glory, all the four wives are blessed with children. I have 7 in my own mother line as the first wife, while the 3 others has other children, numbering about 16 altogether with mine.
What is your position in the family and how many siblings do you have?
To God be the glory, I'm the first child of the family, and I have 6 other siblings from the same mother. From other wives, 3 other wives, I have half sisters and half brothers.
Who was the troublemaker back in the days?
Well, the one my mother used to call Omoshejaro, because when he was very young, he used to be troublesome in the family.
What does Omoshejaro mean?
That is, you cannot replace a child. However, how difficult he is, you cannot replace him. You've taken him, that's what God has given you.
What did you and your siblings do with some?
When I was around at home, we used to go to the farm. On Friday, Monday to Friday, when we were in school, immediately after leaving school, we would go and meet our parents in the farm to assist them in doing farming work. And by Saturday evening, we will keep the night from Iragbiji to our village farm. It's about 8 miles. We will walk down there. By the time we get to the village, that's where our farm was, we will help our parents do some farming. By Saturday morning, we will wake up, go to the farm, do farming with them, and later in the afternoon, we will return to the hometown, which is Iragbiji, in readiness for the Sunday service.
So let's discuss when you were younger. What place did you grow up in?
I initially grew up at Iragbiji for about 8 or 9 years with my parents. But along the line, my dad had a pastor friend who took me as his own son and took me to Oyo. He was a pastor. He wanted to further his education, and so he left Iragbiji as a Baptist pastor to Oyo Baptist Boys High School. During that time, I had to stay with him, and for a period of 1952 to 1955, when the pastor, Reverend Joseph Oladiti, was a student pastor, I was attending Baptist Day School, Ishokun, Oyo, First Baptist Church. I had to finish my elementary school in 1956. After the completion of the late Papa, Reverend Joseph Oladiti Adedapo's education, he moved to the Nigerian Baptist Theological Seminary, Ogbomoso, and left me at Oyo to complete my elementary education at the Ishokun Baptist Day School in 1956. After 1956, I moved down to Ogbomoso again to be with the late Papa, late Reverend J.O. Adedapo, who was then in the seminary, to attend the Baptist Secondary Modern School, Ogbomoso. In Ogbomoso, I was there from 1957 to 1957. There I completed my secondary modern school education. Reverend J.O. Adedapo left me again in 1958 when I was in Modern 2, after the completion of a BTH degree, to move to the Baptist Pastor School, Kaduna. By 1959, when he was in Kaduna, I had to complete my secondary modern education.
What adventure from your lifetime are you most amazed of?
The most amazing adventure I'm thrilled of is traveling. Luckily, I know the length and breadth of Nigeria, including the federal capital, Abuja. That one exposed me in dealing with the major tribes in Nigeria, whether Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba, and their culture. Aside from traveling, I love reading books, especially autobiographies.
What of the weirdest fashion and what are the weirdest fashion trends you remember during your youthful time and age?
There are many. Haircut is one of them. After cutting hair, we used to put on within the head, inside the head, there's a pattern. We used to call it "Guess Follow Me." At times, we don't put on "Guess Follow Me" pattern. It can be on the right hand side of your head or at the left side. Not only that, we used to wear baggy shoes, baggy trousers with wide mouth, and then heavy shoes with high heels. We used to wear it in those days. Not only that, maybe a brother could readily pass his own shirt to us to wear. But majorly, when we were in school, it's always white. White. We had a textile material we call tuso. That tuso is very whitish. And when we were in school, anytime we were on holidays, we will be wearing that white around the town, walking around with our girls and other boys. Then they will know that we were from school, either from modern school or from the grammar school then.
How about expression or slang?
Slang? We were not used to saying slangs in those days as we have it now. It was not prevalent because we were guided to be watchful in what we say outside. And so the use of slangs never came in during our own time.
Who are your close friends and are you still in contact with?
My close friends are Honorable Justice Akinjide Oluremi Ajakaye, retired, and Dr. Stephen Olufemi Adeyemi. We are in regular contact up to now. There is, in fact, a week wouldn't pass when we wouldn't speak with each other or one another.
When was the last time you talked with your friend?
Just 2 days ago, I spoke with both of them.
What kind of TV shows do you watch when you were younger?
When I was very young, I was conversant watching Cock Crow at Dawn and The Village Headmaster.
What kind of movie did you watch when you were younger?
I used to watch educational films, say Macbeth or Julius Caesar. Both books are written by William Shakespeare.
That's how you know. What was your first job and responsibility?
My first job or employment was teaching. I entered into teaching profession after my secondary education, but I never stayed long on the job to leave for another employment. I only stayed on the teaching job for 3 weeks, and from there I moved to Lagos to seek a clerical appointment in a company, in a technical company which is multinational. From the multinational company, I went to a construction company. From the construction company, I went into an engineering concern, which was basically for the registration of engineers. And we called that establishment Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. While in the employment of the Council for the Regulation of Engineers in Nigeria, COREN, abbreviated as COREN, I was synonymous with the accreditation of engineering program in Nigerian universities. Universities with faculties of engineering in Nigeria exposed me to knowing a lot of people who are professionals in the engineering profession. And I traveled far and wide during the course of my employment. And it was from that employment I finally retired in 1994.
Let's get to know more about your relationship with Grandma. How and when did you meet Grandma?
My wife, Deaconess Esther Titi Laya Moronkeji, is my friend, is my sister, is my mother. We came to know each other in 1966, but our friendship never came up until 1972, between 72 and 1974, when we eventually got married as husband and wife. Our marriage took place on 27th July 1974 at the administrator's office in Kaduna, now Kaduna State.
Was it love at first sight or an uphill battle?
It was not a battle. It was a love deepest action. It wasn't as strenuous as other people would think, because we had intimacy before, playing together, attending the same church, going for picnics, and she knew the family that brought me up, and I know the family she came from.
When was your wedding?
We got married on 27th July 1974 in Kaduna at the administrator's office. It was a registry marriage.
How was the wedding like?
Oh, it was a solemn and quiet marriage, because it never involved so many people gathering together to celebrate us. At that point in time, I had little or no time for society wedding, because I was being transferred or being posted here and there on an employment basis. And so there was little or no time for me to say the marriage will be so elaborate. Immediately after the marriage, 3 days after the marriage, I left Kaduna for a training program, for a 2-week training program in Lagos, organized by my company. And after the training, I had to be posted to another place. So we never had the opportunity of, say, we will go for honeymoon here and there, visiting places, visiting friends. It was purely straight to business after marriage. To the glory of God, our marriage is blessed with 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls.
How was the wedding like?
Oh, the wedding was traditional. We wore the native attire we call ashoke. It was what we used at the registry. Unlike nowadays when the white wedding is prevalent or predominant, we went by the native way. At the wedding, my foster father, the late Reverend J.O. Adedapo, stood in the gap for my paternal parents at the wedding. It was not the lousy marriage because time was not on my side to stay long in Kaduna because I had a training program in Lagos. So myself and my wife had to leave Kaduna for Lagos the 3rd day we got married. While at Lagos, she was staying with one of my elder brothers, while I remained in the hotel because my company, Service Nigeria Limited, only had the hotel reservation for me. But anytime I was free, I used to go and meet her where she was staying with my elder brother, Olu Moronkeji, now of blessed memory. He was then working with the Nigerian breweries at Lagos. And after some time, she went back to Kaduna. While I was transferred, I was posted to another place to work for the company.
How many children did you have with Grandma?
Well, to the glory of God, I have children. I have 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. The girls are Aderonke Olufunke Moronkeji, now Mrs. Aderonke Olufunke Alonge. Tolulope Adetutu Moronkeji, now Mrs. Oni, is the 2nd daughter. The first son is Adeoye Moronkeji. The 2nd son is Adeolu Adegbola Moronkeji, while the 3rd son is Oluwole Adelowo Moronkeji. All of them are surviving to the glory of God, and they are handsome and beautiful ladies who know the way of the Lord by which they are being trained.
How were your children, our parents, growing up?
They grew up in the way of the Lord because right from infant, we used to have an altar in our house for early prayer meeting. We will read the Bible. We will read from the Sunday school. We will go into the Bible, teach the Word of God, sing choruses, sing from the hymn books. And so the family grew up in the way of the Lord, which we inherited from our own parents too. And so life continues like that, even with their own families when they are now settled and got married.
Tell us something special about them.
They are wonderful children. I've told you they know the way of the Lord, and they have never deviated from following Christ. And that Christ has been guiding them to have settled homes good homes, which we as parents, my wife and I, are very proud of.
Tell us something you noticed that is a trait from them and us.
My grandchildren are loving. They know the way of the Lord. And that one has helped them to be excelling in their course of studies in schools. Anybody who sees them, my grandchildren, they see that they are well brought up. They have home manners, well trained from the home, because they give respect to whom respect is due. And so they copy their own parents, which are my own biological children.
Do you have any funny or embarrassing stories about my parents?
About them? I don't have whatsoever.
How many grandchildren do you have?
To the glory of God, I have 9. 2 from Aderonke Alonge, Mrs. Joshua and Jerry. Adeoye, from Adeoye side, Ori Oluwanimi, Simi Loluwa. From Tolulope, Oni, Ayomide, Ayotunde, and Ayomiposi. From Oluwole, I have Imale Oluwa and Irawo Oluwa. The one we are praying God to bless with a home is Adeolu Adegbola Moronkeji.
Let's talk about you getting older. What is the most rewarding things about getting older?
The most rewarding thing is I see in getting older is that I have so many grandchildren to play with. At times I call them nicknames: Omage Kogi, Jerry of India, and so on and so forth. Imale Oluwa, Irawo Oluwa, Ayomiposi, Ayomide, my room lord. When I was younger, I used to run. I used to play, doing athletics. But getting older, I cannot run as I used to run in the past. I used to play football. Now, I cannot play football. I used to play table tennis. I can't stress myself playing table tennis for so long a period, just for a while. But walking, I do a lot of walking, which is a good exercise. At least in a day, with me and mommy, we used to walk for about 45 minutes, which amounts to 15 minutes to a mile. By the time we will get back home, we will be sweating, and then we will find time to rest. That's the most important aspect of life now, so that we will just not be sitting idly and then be getting fatter. So we take it a pleasure to do walking exercise more than anything now.
Is getting older a lifetime of knowledge?
Yes, it's a lifetime knowledge, because when you see people who are older, you would like to pray that you should get older too. Like my own biological father, he lived for 136 years before he died. And so it is my wish too, that if God gives me the favor, grants me the favor, that I should live up to that and even beyond in good and radiant health. Although the Bible says 120 is the number of our years. But keeping to that age, that period of age, one should guide against what one eats, what you drink, and what you do. Those things which will not affect your life, your health, one should avoid it to enable you attain, or to enable me attain that 120 or even beyond in good health. Drinking, going after women, looking, running after wealth, money will cut one's life short. But if one obeys the will of God, you avoid drinking, you avoid running after women and running after wealth, then you have a pleasant life to live.
What are the most important lessons you've learned in life?
The most important lesson I've learned in life is to help people, being kind to people. It's my own ministry to see that people are happy, especially the younger ones. I dwell on the younger ones, to helping them solve life's problem, in gaining admission to school, in helping them gaining employment through the connection or the goodwill I built over the years. And God is helping me out to see that these younger ones cleave to my side and they're happy at me always for being of help to them.
Tell us the story behind those lessons.
The story is happiness. I enjoy joy and happiness in helping people. When you help people, you find joy and you find happiness, which is uppermost in my mind.
Who has influenced you the most?
The person who has influenced me most in life is Papa, late Reverend Joseph Oladiti Adedapo. He was my mentor, benefactor, and godfather. He taught me the way of the Lord, to be humble, to be obedient, and respect others who are older than I do.
What kinds of things make you the happiest now?
Seeing my children and grandchildren around me always make me happy. Especially my grandchildren. On Sundays or any day of the week, they come to me, Grandpa, Grandma, play with us, eat their McDonald's food. I share with them. Say, you wouldn't eat, I will eat from you. And I'll be touching one by one, each of them. Not only that, I take my grandson, Imale, to the soccer field to see him how he plays. I follow him to practice. They sleep around us on the same bed. Anytime they come, one of them used to go to the bathroom. Immediately she goes to the bathroom. I say, nobody should go there. Everybody will laugh. You spoil the bathroom, please, next time, don't go there. So I used to play with them and they laugh, say, Grandpa. So all sorts of things make me happy because they are a source of joy to me. And I love them, the way they sing. One will be jumping up here and there. The room loud will be asking for my PIN number for my phone, and I will say I wouldn't give you because I don't want you to tap my phone. So all those things make me happy. We walk around, we play with them.
I believe this will enable everyone watching this video to know what makes you happy. What are you most proud of?
As a, a grandpa, I'm proud of my children because of their accomplishment in life. The position I couldn't reach academically, they've excelled, and the grandchildren are still following the footsteps of their parents. For that, I'm happy that God has increased me in so many ways. When one thinks of life, one will know that God is always merciful to those who believe and trust Him. My coming to this country is through the grace of God, through my own children, who have done very well in life. My goodwill to people endears me so much, and those people have extended help to and repay me in so many folds. This makes me very happy and gives me joy all the time.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Grandpa, for this great accomplishment. If you could go back to any age, what age would it be, and what was life like at that time?
If God grants me the opportunity to go back, which is not possible, I would like to be between 18 and 21, where I can jump here and there, play, chat, run, do everything to the glory of God. And what is most important is that I should continue to trust God, because a lot of people repose confidence in me, and I've not betrayed that trust. And so anything I do, I put God first. And I want God to be my first in anything I do until I give up the ghost.
Would you have wished to be at that age or remain at your present age?
I would like to be at my age, 80 and above, because those things I see at old age make me very happy. Seeing my children ascending greater heights in life, seeing my grandchildren doing well in all their endeavors in life make me happy. I cannot go back to 21. I cannot go back, say age 21. Rather, I would prefer to be advancing in age, say to attain 90, 100, 120 and above in good health.
What advice do you have for the younger generations?
I will advise them to look very well before they leap. They should not compare themselves with other people. They should go in the way of the Lord. Humility should be their watchword. They should be obedient. Rely on God's promise should be their focus, not after the worldly pleasure, but looking unto God for His help in anything they lay their hands upon. to enable him grant them long life and all they need in life.
This will be my closing question of the day. This may seem hard, but it will be a way to honor you and tell your story. How would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for good deeds which I've done to people. I want them to remember me for not being envious of any achievement anybody could make on earth, because I'm content with God, with what God has given me, in that He has a purpose for me. My philosophy of life is that God's purpose, God has a purpose for everybody, and the purpose for my life has not been defeated, because He gave me good opportunities to have loving children, grandchildren, siblings who take care of me to the extent that I don't regret my coming into the world.
Thank you, Grandpa, for this pleasant interview. I hope you have many more birthdays in good health.
Thank you very much, my interviewer. God bless you. You too will grow old in good and radiant health.
Amen.
Thank you.